Hello, Uncle Larry here. Something different. A movie review of Oppenheimer. I love this movie. I'm late to the party, I know, but ask me about my life sometimes. I rarely see a movie out of the chute, and I hardly even have 3 hours that aren't interrupted by something. I just wanted to say how much I like this film and wanted to pass that along to you here today and encourage you to see it if you haven't yet, and also elicit some of your comments as well, yay or nay. So we'll get to those later. Hopefully you'll participate in this. Just by way of background, for those not familiar with this time in history, Oppenheimer is an epic biographical thriller film directed by the famed director Christopher Nolan. He adapted the screenplay from a book called American Prometheus. It stars Cillian Murphy as J. Robert Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan said he wanted this whole movie to rest on Cillian Murphy's back. So if Cillian Murphy didn't deliver, then this movie would flop. Well, did he ever deliver? If you don't know who Cillian Murphy is, watch Peaky Blinders on Netflix. Watch it. It's one of the best series on Netflix to this day. It is superb, and so is Murphy. So he plays Oppenheimer, the American theoretical physicist who was the father of the atomic bomb, the undertaking that developed the first nuclear weapons was called the Manhattan Project. He spearheaded that at a place called Los Alamos. They actually built a set to replicate Los Alamos, and they actually did a replica of the bomb that looks exactly like the bomb did, from film footage anyway. And in addition to Murphy, there's this stellar cast. It's just unbelievable, the big stars that wanted to be a part of this thing, and so it wasn't a money movie for anybody. Emily Blunt's in it, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., Florence Pugh, Gene Tatlock, Josh Hartnett, Casey Affleck, Rami Malek, Kenneth Branagh, Tom Conti, and others. So kind of goes in three parts. The first part is contextual. It's about Oppenheimer's background. You get to know him, his love of physics, his rise in that world. Then, of course, the development of the bomb, the Manhattan Project, the explosion itself. And I mean, this is in IMAX, folks, and that explosion is unbelievable. I saw it on a 50-inch screen here in the basement, but on IMAX, when it was filmed at IMAX, I guess apparently it just blows you right out of your seat. Well, it was stunning enough. And interestingly enough, back then, there was so many unknowns surrounding the explosion of this device. They didn't even know that it wouldn't set off a chain reaction that could destroy the world. Like, they did tests as best they could, and they said there was a near zero probability it would blow up the world, but they weren't sure. And they pressed the button anyway. That's the truth. Anyway, so there's that second part of the movie where they talk about the bomb, explode the bomb. But the third part of the movie is just as interesting, because now Oppenheimer is the subject of a witch hunt. It's the McCarthy era. They're looking for commies, Soviet spies. And Oppenheimer, along with many scientists of his era, were sympathetic to communism, at least a certain understanding of it. They were New Deal Democrats at the very least. But no, that wasn't enough. They were worried that Oppenheimer might be a spy now, and they wanted to get his national security clearance revoked. Can you even believe that? The guy who fathered the bomb, and they wanted his clearance revoked because they thought he was a commie. Wow. And so that unfolds. It's very riveting, and Robert Downey Jr.'s role as the nemesis of Oppenheimer is just riveting, too. He's great in this movie. And then at the end, you just see Oppenheimer's anguish about what he had done and his misgivings. He was tortured. And there's a lot of close-ups of Cillian Murphy's face in this film. And at the end, you see him. You see that look of anguish. He's emaciated. He says, "What have I done? I am the destroyer of worlds," he says at one point. And the final frames of the movie are just stunning. Can you tell I'm a fan? Anyways, I highly recommend this movie. Watch it on the biggest screen you can get, preferably IMAX. Turn your theater speakers way up. This thing is epic. I enjoyed it very much. What about you? What are your thoughts? Please let me know in the comments, yay or nay, and maybe we can have a bit of a conversation. So there's my review of Oppenheimer.